Hi guys, I'm Desh and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share some really very important red alert in your house hunt journey. Usually what happens when we like some apartment, we start checking about the area, about the connectivity, about the other stuff like supermarket is there, school is there, and every day-to-day life stuff. But what we forget, proper paperwork investigation or paperwork due diligence. We do it. Sometimes we hire some consultant, sometimes we check on our own. So our focus mostly based on okay, if the apartment is the size is equal to what the agent or what the company has said, and if there is some loan, if your all the titles are clear, this is a main area where we focus. But there is some very important documents and which is quite lengthy, more than 50 pages or more than 100 pages, which we sometimes ignore. I did it personally, being a first time buyer. When I bought my first apartment, I missed something, and I paid a lot for that. So I'm going to share 5 red alerts which you should take care when you are buying a property in Germany. So in terms of documentation, all the documents are important, but Eigentum protocol, which is like your owner's meeting notes, not only just 1 year notes, at least check last 5 years note, because sometime last year everything is clear, last to last year that's also clear, but maybe 3 years back there was some decision which can change the game. But in reality, devil lies in detail. So how we navigate this Eigentum protocol? What happens? Sometimes we check this document for 1 year, 2 year, or maximum 3 years. I would suggest one should check at least 5 years of meeting notes. Why? Because sometimes owners decide on some maintenance, some boarding has done on XYZ point, but they just postpone it for a couple of years. XYZ reason, maybe fund is not sufficient or something else. So when we check just only 1 year meeting note or 2 year meeting note, we are missing a lot of stuff. How to pay attention? Because of course there's quite lengthy documentation and reading every year's meeting note. I personally get bored with 1 year of meeting notes which I need to send my boards for all those agendas which committee used to send. So yeah, it's very very common when someone just see 5 years meeting notes and then they needs to read line by line. So just pay attention on some part. There are some point one should take care of in Eigentum protocol. First thing, there should not be anything related to your roof renovation or roof repair. If there is something, one should 100% pay attention, ask the Wohnung management team, ask the agent to send the detail what happened to this and what was the decision. Second point, if there is some reference for facade renovation. Why? Because facade renovation is they take off the outer layer of the building and fix the insulation and then repair. So that's also quite pocket heavy renovation or repair. So if you are seeing these 2 points, it's a big red flag. One should pay attention, ask as much as detail possible. Second point, if you are seeing some decision postponed, there's also a dangerous point. As I discussed before, if decision is postponed, then till when? Sometimes it happens like they have decided for some renovation and rather for this year they will postpone for next year, and if next year also not possible, for next year, and then that's also like they are postponing, and when the time you buy the apartment, after that if this renovation get planned, then you are in a trap and you need to pay that heavy bill. Suppose if there is 60 apartment in this building and the repair cost is 60,000. And if all the apartments are same size, then you are going to get a bill of 1,000. But it could be more, and it could be like you are buying a bigger apartment and rest of other apartments are smaller. So your part would be bigger, not like, if there are 60 or 100 apartment or 100,000 bills and 1,000 you have everyone. No. If yours is bigger, your part is bigger. So take care of this point. Second very important point to be taken care is if there is some special payment in past 5 years or this is repetitive. If there is some one-time payment, then also just ask why it has taken, because sometimes what happens, there was some repair, some mandatory repair, which is like, of course, that needs to be done. But why there is special payment? Because there is no fund reserved for that. Let's suppose in your buildings fund there are only 20,000 and the repair was for 30,000. For this 10,000, which is extra spent, that all the owners needs to contribute based on their share in this building. So if this is one time and there is valid reason, that can be ignored, but you should take care of that and you should ask from your agent or the one management company. And if this pattern repeats again and again, that means there is bigger problem. Either the management company has not estimated the cost clearly and their estimates are not good, or their planning is not good. That's why they are spending more. So this is also a red flag one should take care of and check all the details carefully. Third point is mandatory renovation, which is like, we think like, okay, this is mandatory, this is by government regulation, but they are quite heavy, because usually when TUV ask for some requirements, some just like your elevator is old, there is some standard which we need to maintain in Germany. And if this elevator is not at where that standard, then they ask the building to replace it or upgrade it. And whenever there is some mandatory renovation, that usually costs from 50,000 to 100,000. So again, quite heavy. So one should take care of that. If something is planned, then plan your budget accordingly, or negotiate with your seller if they can reduce this cost from your price, because of course you are paying the complete purchase price, and after that if you need to pay these renovation costs and repair costs, that's quite heavy. Okay, these three red flags are about something which is really mandatory or which needs to be done for the safety of safety of people, safety of building. But there are some other points which we should take care of, just like toxic community, which we generally ignore most of the time, because we think, okay, we are buying apartment in this building, but how to approach people? How can we know who could be our next door neighbor, who could be our downstairs neighbor, or how they will behave? This is like people say, when we go there, then we'll figure out. No, there is a way at least we can check from this meeting notes. How? Because if toxic neighbors are there might be some complaint in your meeting notes, which is like someone has some problem with some other neighbor. They just raise this point to be addressed in the owners meeting. We need to check which kind of points they are and then decide whether they are really serious point or people are less accommodative. So this will be clear. Also, because in Germany the problem is like, if you are changing anything in your outer side of the apartment, like in your balcony, in your windows, you need permission. Let's suppose your balcony is south facing and during the summer you feel like it's quite hot and you want to install some sunshade or this glass curtain for the window. Yeah, you need permission. check these kind of request in the meeting note if someone has requested, or it get accepted or declined. If it get declined, that's a clear sign people are not cooperative, they are neglecting. Or sometime, you know, if I mean, I know some buildings where people just, you know, they are fed up with some neighbor because he was renting on and off for Airbnb, and you know, in the meeting, owners meeting, that get declined. Okay, we are not going to see it, and that's fine. If people say no, let's take this matter in the court, then the charges for this all case thing and stuff, that you need to pay from your pocket, because you are not buying just only your apartment, you are buying the part of this building. So you are, you know, sharing the responsibility with other owners. So it's our responsibility to take care who would be our co-owners. That's really important. The fifth red flag, which is like, I have seen 80 to 90% people fall in this trap. How? Because when we go to visit some apartment, we focus on apartment, we focus on the condition of the apartment, how is the internal you know, layouts and stuff, but what we miss, the seller. And usually when we ask the agent or the owner, they said, okay, we have a good nice seller, and we think like, okay, if seller is big, we generally ask the size. If they say like 10 by 10 or 5 by 10, we said, okay, this is quite bigger, and of course this is a seller. But that plays really very important role in your house buying process. How? Because problem starts from seller only, because that's basement. If your basement is not intact, if there is some moisture, that will rise upper side of the building. So that's very important to check. It happens with me. I was looking for an apartment once, and from inside that was really good. The floor plan was good. The person who owns this apartment, he has really maintained really good. But when I asked for the seller visit, the guy said he doesn't have the keys. And I said, okay, let's go, because seller main door can be opened from your building keys. So I asked, okay, let me go inside the cellar with your keys, the outside keys, and I'll see them from outside. And when I saw, the building was quite good from outside, but the cellar was full with water. When I asked, what is this? He said, okay, some water came from that, some windows, and yeah, so it's there, but it will be clean. No, it won't be cleaned, because if water is coming inside the cellar, that means there are high chances of moisture. And what happened? Some people say, okay, we are not going to live in cellar, and we are not going to put our valuable stuff in cellar. So it's okay. No, because when this moisture go up, then there would be a request for maintenance, and if your reserve is short, then you are going to pay from your pocket. And even if reserve is okay, then also that would be consumed in this repair or in this maintenance. So we need to take care of that. These were the 5 red flags, which I always take care of now, because I did mistake in my first buy. Apart from this, I forgot the very important point. You should check your reserve also. How much is it? Because if that is sufficient to cover these kind of maintenance, then you are safe. If not, then you are going to pay from your pocket, which is quite heavy. So guys, take care of these points in your purchase process. And if you want me to draft everything in German, so that like these points, what all you need to check in your Eigentümer protocol, just comment in the section and I will share my list with you. Till then, bye bye, and I will meet you in other video.